Howdy, and welcome to a demo of Slay the Princess by Black Tabby Games. Down in the link in the description if you'd like to play. The game is available for free since it's a demo, but the full game will be coming out in 2023, and you can purchase it then to support the creator. You can also purchase their game, Scarlet Hollow, which is available now. There's a demo for it as well for the first episode. We played it here on the channel back in 2020, I believe. There are currently 3 episodes out as the time of this recording, and I believe there's a plan for 7 episodes, which will span every day of the week. That one's really good, so I have high hopes for this game too. I would also appreciate it if you checked out the link in the description for Comodoro Socialis de Puerto Rico. It's trying to eliminate hunger in Puerto Rico, so it'd be really cool if you're able to support them. So if you're able to, please support the developer and Comodoro Socialis de Puerto Rico. I would really appreciate it. So Slay the Princess, a game which it's giving us our explicit goal right off the bat. So it's going to be a slam dunk. It's going to be really easy to figure out what we should do. So let's just begin our quest to slay the princess.
You're on a path in the woods, and at the end of that path is a cabin. And in the basement of that cabin is a princess. You're here to slay her. If you don't, it will be the end of the world.
Sounds like an easy choice. Sounds like we just have to slay the princess, but why do we need to slay the princess? The end of the world? What are you talking about? Have you considered that maybe the only reason she's going to end the world is because she's locked up? Killing a princess seems kind of bad, though, doesn't it? Can't someone else do it? Forget this, I'm not doing that. Have you considered that maybe I'm okay with the world ending? Oh, okay, thanks for telling me what to do. I appreciate this option, because anytime someone just tells me straight up, like, hey, can you do this? And here's, just do this. It's like, oh, thank God, some direction. Sweet. I've always wanted to off a monarch. Viva la revolution. Walk towards the cabin, turn around, and leave. So this game has 7 endings. I'm not going to be playing them all, so y'all can go and see them. There's also some lovely animation, some fun little physics happening as we move our camera around. It kind of makes some stuff jiggle as the perspective kind of shifts a little. I have 3 ideas that we're going to go for. We're going to go for what I was going to tell y'all, but we'll just play it out. I have 3 ideas for what we're going to be seeing tonight. Let's get some more information, because we don't. Why is she going to end the world? What's happening?
I'm talking about the end of everything as we know it. No more birds, no more trees, and perhaps most problematically of all, no more people. You have to put an end to her.
No more birds. I can deal with no more people, but no more birds. But how can a princess be locked away? But how can a princess locked away in the basement in the world? A good question.
Don't linger on the specifics. You have a job to do here. Just get in there and do what needs to be done. We're all counting on you.
Do you have any evidence to back this up?
Look, you're already on the path that leads to the cabin. Why would you be here if it weren't to complete a very important task? You've made it this far, you might as well reach the end of your journey.
I mean, that's a compelling argument. Why would we be here if it wasn't important? But I mean, maybe she's only become so disillusioned with the world because she was locked up in the basement. It's not like just someone would want to destroy the world for no reason. I mean, let alone a princess who could possibly be, harvesting profit, and then, it's just like, world destroyed, I make money, who could say? We don't know about the situation. We'll find out.
While I appreciate the mental exercise, we are running up against a bit of a ticking clock. Nevertheless, let me assure you, the princess is locked up because she's dangerous. She is not dangerous because she's locked up.
Damn.
And before you decide to waste even more of our time by asking how I know that, let me suggest a more pragmatic lens through which to view this situation. Causality doesn't matter here, because the end result is the same no matter what led us up to this point. If the princess leaves the cabin, the world will end, and there is no changing that. It's no use arguing semantics over a metaphorical chicken or egg, because the egg is hatched and it's about to ruin everything. Unless, of course, you do your job and slay her.
There's This interesting concept of in literature, how the narrator always is truthful to you and always telling you the truth, and you can always trust the narrator. So I mean, I guess we gotta slay the princess, because I mean the narrator told us we gotta do it. The world will end, and it's no point thinking about why we gotta do it. I could go either way on killing a princess. Can someone else do this?
Oh, if only that were the case. But I don't make the rules. I have to say I'm surprised at your reluctance thus far, but unfortunately for the both of us, you're the only one who can pull this off. Like I said, I don't make the rules, no matter how much I wish I did.
So for some reason, we're the only ones who can slay the princess. Why is that? We don't know. Narrator doesn't make the rules. Narrator isn't explaining. Well, we're not opposed to doing it just yet. Let's get some more, maybe I'm okay with the world ending.
Of course I haven't. Why would I even consider that? Nobody wants the world to end. I mean, maybe some people do, like nihilists, or very, very evil people, but surely you're not one of those, right?
You guessed correctly. It'd be a shame if the world ended. Look, I'll go to the cabin and I'll talk to her, and if she's as bad as you say, maybe I'll slay her, but I'm not committing to anything until I've had a chance to meet her face to face. Okay, I'm sold. Let's get this over with. Boom. You convinced me. You didn't give me any solid information about world ending. I'll do the damn thing. I really like this option. We'll definitely be picking this option at some point. But I'm not exactly convinced yet. Why no one's given us... I mean, okay, he's given us a very convincing argument. If you don't slay the princess, the world will end. But maybe we need a little bit more information.
Then I guess we'll just have to see what happens. But a word of warning. If you go in prepared to hear her out, she could easily trap you in her web of lies. And the more you listen to her honeyed words, the harder it'll be to pull yourself out. Then each and every one of us is doomed. So sure, go, talk to her. See how that turns out for all of us.
Damn, they make words with honey now?
You make your way up the short path to the cabin. You'll find the princess within. We're not going to go through with this, right? She's a princess. We're supposed to save princesses, not slay them. Ignore him. He doesn't know what he's talking about.
Voice of the hero. We've obtained a new passenger. We have the narrator traveling with us. We don't know much about our character. We can assume that perhaps since we have a voice of the hero, that maybe these are aspects of us, the narrator telling us what we know. It's not exactly clear what's happening here. If these are aspects of us speaking to us similar to one Disco Elysium, or if perhaps, maybe we are just hearing things, like there is an omnipresent narrator speaking to us. It's hard to say exactly, but we'll proceed into the cabin.
The interior of the cabin is almost entirely bare. The air is stale and musty, and the floor and walls are painted in a fine layer of dust. The only furniture of note is a plain wooden table. Perched on that table is a pristine blade. The blade is your implement. You'll need it if you want to do this right. You take the blade from the table. It'd be rather difficult to slay the princess and save the world without it.
Or maybe not.
The door to the basement creaks open, revealing a staircase faintly illuminated by an unseen light in the room below. This is an oppressive place. The air feels heavy and damp, a hint of rot filtering from the ancient wood. If the princess really lives here, slaying her is probably doing her a favor. Her voice carries up the stairs.
Who's there?
It's commanding, almost as though she's the one in charge down here. Don't let it fool you. It's all part of the manipulation.
We're here to do you a favor, it seems. I also like the, oh, she's commanding. Yeah, princess. Hi, just checking on you. Hey, I think I'm here to kill you, or we can continue down the stairs. we don't really know much about the situation, so let's introduce ourselves. Or maybe let's be a bit more forthcoming, I guess. I think I'm here to kill you.
You must have the wrong address.
See? Wrong princess, damn. Wrong princess, wrong cabin. Happens all the time.
Great job. You gave away the element of surprise. Good luck, hero. You walk down the stairs and lock eyes with the princess. There's a heavy chain around her wrist, binding her to the far wall of the basement.
She's so coldly beautiful. Is she really a threat to the world?
Focus on the task at hand.
You weren't kidding when you said you were here to kill me.
What? No way. Why would you even think that? Yeah, it wasn't a joke. I haven't decided yet. I'm just here to talk. Steal your nerves. Step forward. Just do the damn thing. I am just here to talk. We don't really have a lot of information about the situation, so maybe she can provide a bit more information about what the hell is happening.
So, why'd you bring a knife with you? How about you drop it and then we can chat?
She makes a compelling point. What if we just dropped the blade and talked? Look at her. It's not like she's a threat. Don't you dare. It's fine. We can decide what we want to do after we talk to her. Maybe she really is a monster. But killing someone in cold blood isn't very becoming of us.
Yeah, the voice of the hero is saying us, which I'm not sure if it's like a royal, like, oh, us, like me, the voice of the hero, or us, a collective group, including perhaps maybe just the voice of the hero and the player, perhaps including the narrator. Who's to say? Yeah, we'll drop it. We're not... We want to know what's happening before we just murder somebody.
The blade tumbles out of your trembling hands and drops to the floor with an unceremonious clang.
Thank you. Maybe now we can just... talk.
Against your better judgment, you step forward to speak with the princess face to face, unarmed. We'll be fine. I don't know what you're hoping to accomplish here, but I can assure you there's no reasoning with her. Just make sure you don't forget about the blade on the floor. You're going to need it.
So, this is a pretty awkward start to a relationship.
Yeah, most relationships start awkwardly. But I mean, also, someone just showing up to kill you, that's pretty cut and dry, if you ask me. Pretty standard, too. So maybe this is the wrong time to mention it, but the creator on Twitter, a few days after this demo went live, the first version of it, because there's been a few updates and such, was like, oh, I'm so glad people understand that the princess is, this isn't a stylistic decision with her eyes. Obviously it's a stylistic decision because an artist sat down and decided to draw it this way, but it's not like she's not supposed to be like an anime girl with big eyes. She just has oddly huge eyes. We're supposed to assume normal human proportions here, and she's just got big ol' eyes. It's not an anime thing, which I thought was really funny when people were talking about it, because it was I saw it and it was I played Scarlet Hollow, so I was oh, I assume this is supposed to be a horror thing where her eyes are enlarged to kind of make it surreal. So it was funny to see the creator kind of just celebrate, yes, I'm so glad people understand what's happening here. Yeah, it's pretty awkward. A relationship. Are you coming on to me? That's a bad option. We're not gonna pick that one. How would I get you out of here? I'm here because you're going to end the world. There's people out there who think you're a threat to the world. What do you have to say about that? Real centrist, your rebuttal? What's your name? How long have you been down here? Do you know why I'm here to kill you? Okay, we've talked. Yeah, we've talked enough. We exchanged some words. Time to plunge a blade into your eye. Maybe that's a Zelda thing, but I'm, big eyes. That's that's what you go for. But 2 big eyes. That's a innovation that maybe Zelda should shoot for, giving the boss 2 big eyes instead of 1. Let's start cash. Maybe find out what the princess's name is. Now, this option I can only assume will go whenever you ask someone their name, they're always don't you know it's rude if you don't introduce yourself first? But we don't really have a character here to introduce ourselves. It's a bit hard to say who we the player are. So we unfortunately can't introduce ourselves. So What's your name?
She hesitates before answering.
You can address me as Your Royal Highness, or Her Majesty. Any honorific should do, really.
Note the lack of detail. You can't trust her.
Ah, Hime-sama. Got it. So yes, no name given. All we know is Princess, Royal Highness, whatever. Okay, well, didn't really give us any information, but, there's a strange power dynamic here, us being here. With a blade, we don't have it with us. We could run back to it, but she is chained up. Not exactly a good situation here. How long have you been down here?
Too long.
Fair enough.
Again, she offers no specifics. No matter how hard you try, you'll never get a straight answer out of her.
What's next? I made fun of this option, but I feel like, what do you have to say about that? Like, do you know why I'm here to kill you? Let's see if we can get some more information about the end of the world.
Don't just tell her that.
Is that why they threw me down here? But I don't want to hurt anyone. I like the world, I think.
Boy, me and you both.
I don't remember much about it, to be honest. I've been down here for so long.
Just how long has she been down here?
Did they even bother to tell you how I'm supposed to end the world? Because that just doesn't sound like the sort of thing I'd be capable of.
I mean, have you tried, taking the profits of your serfs and, maybe... you ever hear about this little thing called climate crisis? You know about this? You hear about these ice caps? What are you going to do if I let you out of here? I've been told enough. I was hoping you'd tell me. We could deflect, but I'm just going to be straight with her. I was hoping that, she would tell me. I guess I didn't read all the options. No, I'm sure they have their reasons for keeping that information secret from me. No, if I'm being honest, I'm more inclined to trust you than I am inclined to trust them. This one's, I was hoping she'd tell me, but to be honest, I am more inclined to trust her.
Sooner or later, you'll understand that I have your best interests at heart. Hopefully sooner.
How sweet. Now be a pal and help me get out of here, would you? We can figure out how to deal with them after I'm free.
Just slay the princess. Actually, I've changed my mind. I don't trust you. Just, I always love in parentheses when it explains the option you're going to do, especially when it's lie, and then it's just I don't know why, but it gets a laugh out of me whenever there's just because it has to explain the action you're going to do, because, there was complaints about games where it was oh, you're going to do, you get a text option, and then your character does something wildly different because you didn't know exactly what action you were going to perform. So it makes sense to, have the text option here, but just having the text option, slay the princess, just do the damn thing. It's always very funny to me. I do have a few more, just one more thing, princess.
Fine. What do you want to know?
There actually isn't more information here than I thought there'd be, but I guess we can ask how we would get her out of here, because I don't know.
You can't. Don't bother.
I'm guessing you don't have the key then. I'm sure there's a key somewhere around here. And if there isn't, well, we can always put that knife to good use.
Her sharp eyes settle on the edge of the blade. She isn't suggesting what I think she's suggesting, right? She is. I'm sure of it.
Lop off the hand. We can cauterize the wound. Well, we don't have any heat, so we'd have to, I guess, use either our clothes or some of her bottom poofy part of her dress. I assume that's a poofy dress because it covers her legs, to make sutures, and then hope we can cover it and she just doesn't die of blood loss before we do it. But cover the nub. I suppose you could also attempt to pick the lock with a blade. I don't know if that's possible or not, but I assume we're talking about cutting off a hand. I don't think she's coming onto us, and I don't care to find out who she is. But I do believe we've talked enough because I have no other options.
Oh, have you decided what to do with me?
You know why you're here.
Our options: slay the princess, examine the chains. I'm getting you out of her. Keep her locked away. I'm gonna keep you down here. I'm gonna keep you locked away down here, at least for a bit. We can get to know each other better. We can get to know each other better while I decide what to do. I don't know why that was so hard for me to read. Now, this is a coward's option. We're no coward. We're either going to get her out of here or we're going to kill her. Now, when we approached the cabin, the voice of the hero spoke up to us. We can assume the hero, who's immediately like, we don't slay princesses, is here to, be like, to try and save her. But we have our unfallible narrator who has told us our explicit goal, that if we don't kill her, the world's going to end. So, I mean, sometimes you gotta break a few princesses to save a few worlds. So we'll slay the princess.
Doubt, unfortunately, clouds your thoughts as you attempt to run her through. A moment of distraction and hesitation is all she needed to sidestep your thrust and deliver a catastrophic blow to your jaw. It feels like you've been hit with a sledgehammer. You can feel bone grinding on bone where your jaw has been fractured. Holy shit, that hurts! Though she's unarmed, the shock of that first strike is enough to stagger you, putting you and the princess on somewhat equal footing.
I mean, I wouldn't call this equal footing. We appear to be on the ground looking up at her. That's explicitly uneven footing.
Your blade slashes through the air again and again, and her fists connect with your body as many times or more, each impact as heavy as that first bone-crushing hit.
So something interesting here. We can see, since we're seeing our hand, we seem to have scales, we can see the claws over here. We're able to see the claws in the other shot too, I believe. So something about our character. We seem to be some kind of like lizard, perhaps since there's a princess, like some kind of like orc. I'm not exactly sure, but the princess is kind of kicking her ass.
We can still turn this around.
We can immediately give up, we can finish the job, and we could flee and lock her in the basement. A coward's option. A coward's option. We started a job, we finish a job.
You and the princess stare at each other, both gasping for breath, equally exhausted. You probably won't make it out of here alive, but you can at least make sure that she won't make it out of here either. Excuse me?
Stalemate. You ever play chess?
Do you think this is what I wanted to happen? I have a duty to state the facts of the situation, and honestly, it's a miracle anyone is still standing right now.
See, we can trust the narrator. The narrator, duty to state the facts of the situation, and honestly, and then we can ignore the rest, so we can assume, state the facts of the situation, remove the comma, and honestly.
Can you not feel all those ruptured organs bouncing around in there? If the princess doesn't do our friend in herself, internal bleeding is certain to finish the job.
Okay, so we were referred to as our friend there. So, like, I mean, that could be the narrator being omnipresent and not, like, an aspect of us. Or it could be, like, it could still be, like, voices in our head being like, our friend there. Like, yeah, the body.
The two of you clash for the final time. You feel your ribs break as she delivers a heavy blow, but you push through the pain, falling forward and sinking your blade deep into the princess's heart.
Oh.
The two of you fall to the floor.
This was fun.
The princess gasps, her voice an unhealthy rasp as her lungs start to fill with blood.
This was fun would be a badass last words. Just look at someone and say that was fun, especially if they just plunged a knife in your heart. Now it's going out like a badass. Damn.
You put up more of a fight than I thought you would. But I have to wonder, do you really think this is the end?
There it is again. That razor-sharp look in her eyes and the terrifying conviction in her words. But you don't have the time to worry over such things. Everything goes black, and you die.
Not a lot of time to worry when you're dying. Chapter 2, The Fury. I didn't read Chapter 1, but I believe it was the princess and the hero.
You're on a path in the woods, and at the end of that path is a cabin.
I've heard this before.
And in the basement of that cabin is a princess.
People are always saying this to me.
You're here to slay her.
Yep. I'm getting some terrible sense of deja vu. Wait, hasn't this happened before? Okay, no. But I died. What am I doing here? She's gonna kill me again. But I already slew the princess. Sure, she also killed me, but I definitely got her. Why am I out here again? Oh, don't you worry. I'll gladly slay that princess. She's got it coming. Lie. This is what I was saying. I love whenever it's lie. Lie. Yep, okay, definitely gonna go slay that princess. Yeah, I get it. I'm going to the cabin. I silently proceed to the cabin. Screw this. I'm getting the hell out of here. Turn around and leave. Once again, we need a little bit more information. I already slew the princess. Sure, she also killed me, but I definitely got her. Why am I out here again?
I can assure you that you didn't slay her and that she didn't kill you. People don't just spring back to life after dying, and the two of us are meeting for the very first time. If he doesn't remember what happened, then maybe it's best to keep it that way. There's nothing we can do to... Oh. Is there another one of us in here?
I accidentally clicked, but I believe that was the voice of the broken, saying like, "Hey, no, we're gonna get our ass beat." I bet there's a history in this game. Yeah, here we go. Yeah, there's nothing we can do to stop her. She's going to kill us again. I believe my ass, thou beateth it. I believe that was pretty close, approximation of what was said.
If you go to the cabin, you might as well just throw yourself at her feet and beg for mercy.
An interesting plan. Hadn't thought about that.
You are never going to slay her with that attitude. Stuff that pathetic little voice to the back of your mind and stay focused on the task ahead.
Also, the voice of the hero said, "Is there another one of us in here?" Which could just mean like, once again, like the voice of the hero and now the voice of the broken are in the player's head. But I mean, the narrator's also in the player's head. So I'm just interested in the relationship between the narrator and the player. What exactly is going on? I mean, there's a lot to be interested in here. I'm not saying like, this is the only aspect of the game. Like, I mean, we just showed up and put a knife in a dame's heart because a voice told us to. So there's a lot going on here, a lot to be intrigued by about exactly what is it. We didn't even like get an iota of how would she end the world. Like the narrator just said she leaves the cabin, the world's over. So like, what about that cabin is stopping her from ending the world? Why do those chains stop her? Why did the cabin stop her? What's we didn't even get her damn name. We just know Her Royal Majesty Hime-sama. Oh, don't you worry. I'll gladly slay that princess. Let's see. Did we get any new options? Yeah, we didn't get any options. But I mean, what are we going to do? I mean, we went in there. We fought her. It was a stalemate. Let's just leave. Screw this. I'm getting the hell out of here.
Seriously? You're just going to turn around and leave? Do you even know where you're going?
Oh, I never know where I'm going. Okay, fine. You're persistent. I'll go to the cabin and I'll slay the princess. Ugh. Okay, fine. I'll go to the cabin. I'll talk to the princess. Maybe I'll slay her. Maybe I won't. We'll see. Maybe I'll slay her. Lie. Yes, I definitely know where I'm going. Nope. The only thing that matters is where I'm not going. The cabin. I am not going to the cabin. It's like I said, I'm pretty okay with the world ending. I relish the coming of a new dawn beyond our own. I mean, I don't want the world to end, but same kind of. Quietly continue down the path away from the cabin. I kind of just want to lie to him, but also I just like the cabin. I am not going to the cabin. And, only thing that matters is where I'm not going.
Fine. I suppose you just quietly continue down the path away from the cabin. That's strange. It looks like this path also leads to the cabin. How convenient. Everything's back on track again. Maybe the world can still be saved after all.
Hooray. Okay, I'm going to the cabin. Sheesh. Nope. I mean, sure, we showed up at the cabin once, but what are what's the likelihood of turning around and ending up at the same place twice in a row?
You're really keen on wasting everyone's time, aren't you? It's remarkably selfish, if you ask me. I've already outlined the stakes of the situation. If you don't do your job, everyone dies. Like, dies. Forever.
Bad news, narrator. Most death tends to be forever. I don't care. I'm not killing a princess. Good, maybe everyone should die. It's what they get for dumping me in the woods and asking me to kill someone for them. You're not emotionally blackmailing me into doing this. Quietly continue down the path. I don't really feel too righteous about our situation. Like, we don't know exactly what happens. I mean, I would be mad if I knew that we were specifically dumped in the woods and just, like, told, like, hey, do the damn thing. But also, we were told, hey, you're the only one that can do this. So, I mean, it's hard to blame them if explicitly the world's going to end and there's one person who can do the thing. So, like, I mean, I can't be too upset about the situation. I understand. I mean, we aren't going to be emotionally blackmailed into doing it, and honestly, I'll slay a princess any day if you ask me. Oh, that sounded bad, actually. I meant just like killing a monarch. Killing a monarch's cool, actually. I'm already on lists, probably, so it's fine. But the way I said that made it sound weird. Let's just continue down the path.
Your silence is deafening. But fine, you turn around and trek back down the path you came. Oh, would you look at that? You're at the cabin again. Now, I'm not normally one for superstition or astrology, but I have to say, it seems like the universe itself is doing its best to bring you to your fated confrontation with the princess.
There's no fighting this, is there? I have to go into the cabin? Don't I? Fine. Oh yeah? Well, I guess I start walking in a different direction. Again. In fact, I'm going to keep trekking through the wilderness until I find a way out of this place. I mean, it's happened twice now. How could it possibly happen a third time that we just somehow end up back at the cabin?
There's always a choice. Let me tell you right now that you're making the wrong one for pretty much everyone who has ever lived, as well as for everyone who ever will.
I mean, if the world ends, the ever will isn't really a factor in the situation.
And here we go. As you trudge into the woods, something strange starts to happen. At first, it's little flickers out of the corner of your eyes. Glimpses of familiar wooden structures through the leaves. But as you focus on your surroundings, you start to realize that those flickers weren't just a trick of light. In every direction, there is a path and a cabin. And not just a cabin, the cabin. An infinite fractal of paths and cabins desperately trying to draw you back to where you need to be.
Wait, what's going on?
But you're too stubborn for that, aren't you? It doesn't matter how many paths or cabins appear around you, you're just going to do whatever you can to shirk your responsibility because you care more about irritating me than you do about the fate of the world.
The game got me dead to rights. Like, one of the reasons I was like, the first time you walk away, you show up back at the cabin, I was like, okay, well, I can see where this is going. I should probably go back in the cabin. But part of me being like, well, I'll just keep walking away from it was partially just because I wanted to hear the narrator go, ugh, I can't believe you're doing this, stop. Because, like, obviously, we're just going to keep coming back to the cabin. So I was entirely doing that to irritate the narrator. Fucking, you got my ass, narrator. You got me.
You've doomed us all, you know that, right? But of course you do. Otherwise you wouldn't just wander off into the forest in search of certain death. You lose track of just how long you spend aimlessly tromping through the wilderness. But it's not like any of that time spent lost in the woods really matters, because it isn't long before the world ends and everyone dies.
Oh, so the world did end. Maybe she was able to get out? Something happened there and the world ended. What happened? I don't know exactly, but it happened. Chapter 2. Again? The Stranger.
You're on a path in the woods. You're here to slay.
I'm getting a terrible sense of deja vu. Okay, yeah, we've seen all these. Is there anything new? Those walls weren't here the last... Oh, walls in the background, yeah. Those walls weren't here the last time. You can't just force me to go to the cabin.
What are you talking about? Those walls have always been there. If there weren't any walls in the woods, someone might have gotten lost, or, heaven forbid, someone other than you might have stumbled onto the princess. If he doesn't remember what happened, then maybe it... Yeah, screw this guy. They might have walled off everything but the path to the cabin, but I'm sure there's plenty of other ways we can ruin his day.
Getting the voice of the contrarian for that just made me feel like, damn it. Fuck. No, I don't want to be a contrarian. Damn. No, you got my ass, slay the princess.
If by ruining my day, you mean ruining everyone's day forever, then yes, I suppose there are plenty of ways you could pull that off. Still, the world really did end last time, didn't it? We should be careful. You are never going to slay her with that attitude. Stuff those pathetic little voices to the back of your mind and stay focused on the task ahead.
Stuff the pathetic voices. Listen to the Chad narrator. Oh, don't you worry. I'll gladly slay that princess. Lie. Yep. Okay. Definitely gonna slay the princess. Yeah. I get it. I'm going to the cabin. I do want to just lie to him. Maybe we can save that though. Maybe we can lie late. No, let's lie now. I want to lie.
You know I can tell when you're lying, right? Please take this seriously. I am begging you. I have one last warning for you. She will lie. She will.
Yep.
Maybe we should believe her.
Oh no, contrarian, stop.
Maybe she isn't a liar. Ignore them. They're just being difficult for the sake of it.
Broken, do you have anything to say?
The interior of the cabin is odd, the air smelling faintly of plastic, the wood of the walls fitting together at uncomfortable angles. The only furniture is a plain wooden table, its legs all the wrong lengths, causing it to tilt towards the door. Perched on that table is a pristine blade. The blade is your implement. You'll need it if you want to do this right. If he wants us to take it, maybe we should just leave it to collect dust. Or better yet, grab it and throw it out the window. What good is a knife against a world-ending monstrosity anyways?
I don't want to agree with the contrarian, but what good is a knife? I mean, we slew the princess before, and look where we are.
I, for one, would rather have it. We don't really know what we're dealing with here.
That's also fair. I mean, having a knife could never hurt. Like, I mean, knives can be used for more than a little like little shank. I mean, we could use it as a tool for other things, especially since it's pristine.
I've already told you what you're dealing with. You're dealing with a princess. How many times do I have to explain this incredibly simple and straightforward premise?
It is very straightforward. We are just dealing with a princess. Let's take the blade.
You take the blade from the table.
Into the basement.
The door to the basement creaks open, revealing her voice carries up the stairs, its multi-tonal lilt adding to the already uneasy atmosphere.
Hello. Is someone there?
Yeah, it's me.
This isn't what I expected her to sound like.
What is she?
I think we'd all like to know. You carefully make your way down the stairs. As you descend the final step, the form of the princess comes into view. She locks eyes with you, one moving a little faster than the other. The loose skin of her face stretches into something resembling a smile.
Good lord.
Something in her neck bulges, roiling under her skin as she starts to speak, her voice pouring out between her closed teeth.
Don't be a stranger. It's been so long since I had a friend.
And don't you worry, I'm here to be a friend with a knife. And you should always have a friend with a knife. Check your friends. Make sure one of your friends has a knife at all times. To be continued. This is a demo after all. So I think this game is really cool. I really like it. What exactly is happening here? Why can the princess end the world? I don't know. Clearly something's happening here with the time loop of us coming back from the dead. And whenever the world ended, we just ended up back in the woods again. It seems like we're destined to just end up in the woods being told to slay a princess. The loops seem to be affecting the princess. We didn't go and see the princess on that second loop, to be fair. So who's to say if this distortion was because of having ended the world before, whereas before we were able to kill her? Who knows? The only way we can find out, I assume, is in the full version of the game. I assume that answer isn't hidden away here in the demo. Also, I just want to point this out. So Tony and Abby are like the heads of of Black Tabby. Like, it's mostly just these two, and I say mostly, but I think it is just like these two, with, I guess, any extra stuff we can see here, voice actors and sound stuff. But it got a laugh out of me here because Abby is the artist, and Tony do writing, coding stuff, editing by Abby. But just seeing art Abby and then Tony's name being little here makes me think that Tony contributed something like oh, here's part of the UI or something. I mean, I say part of the UI like that's like little, but I assume that this is supposed to be funny. Like Tony contributed something really, really small. It was like, I'm gonna put your name small in the credits because it was like just really little. I don't know. That made me laugh just seeing the tiny name in there. Team Dog Pit's an incredible name for a team. I have to give credit where it is due. Thank you, Patreon. Thank you, special thanks. But there are 7 endings to this game. Like I said at the beginning, we will not be getting all the endings, but I would like to perhaps see another ending. So the idea that I went for, and I'm not sure if I exactly nailed it with that ending, was I wanted to be a reluctant hero where it's like, or not reluctant hero, I guess reluctant murderer, where we go in with the idea of like, well, we need more information about the situation, obviously, because you don't just walk in and whoosh, you're dead. Who does that? That's, no, that's bad. So it was like, we go in, we try to get more information, and despite the idea of like, we went in there and we're like, despite the name Slay the Princess, and despite my misgivings is bad. Despite my I don't like a monarchy. Fuck them. I'm glad the queen is dead. Maybe that's princess, slay the princess. I'm glad I said it wrong. I'm glad the queen is dead. Whatever. But like, you don't just walk in and murder someone. So like the idea that we had to, like, I guess we have to do this because like all the information we had was, if we don't kill her, the world will end. And like trying to talk to her, like obviously there was a strange balance of power there where she's chained there. Like we weren't torturing her, but it is essentially torture where it's like she is a captive audience, literally a captive audience. We could torture her for all the information, but she's just gonna say what we want, or what her option, not tell us anything at all, because like what does it matter? There was a strange balance of power, and given the information we had, I guess we'd kill her, which maybe not the logical thing to come to in real life, but we're in a world where we are being told if we don't kill the princess, the world would end. So that was my idea for that one. This time, I was thinking like, oh, we would do a run where we're going to try and save her. But there was something that the hero said that kind of threw up a strange flag for me whenever you see her, and he's like, oh, she's coldly beautiful. And it's like, I'm not exactly sure I understand what that means. Because, when someone's beautiful, I guess they're like, what is the coldly beautiful? Like, I'm not exactly sure I understand. Like, I kind of get what people mean, but at the same time, it's like, what exactly does that mean? What does it mean, What does it mean to be human? Let's talk about so my idea for this one went from, let's save her, to let's do a simp run. Let's simp for the princess. Okay, we're here to slay her. Killing princess seems bad. Is that our like most simpiest option? Yep, I think yeah, killing princess seems kind of bad, doesn't it? Is the simpiest option, I think.
Does it? Are you a monarchist? Is slaying a princess that much worse than slaying a fisherman or a miller or a seamstress? If anything, slaying a princess is much better than slaying a seamstress. Seamstresses contribute something of value to society.
I 100% agree. I've already said it twice, but with the queen, the Queen of England dying, yeah, no, I 100% agree. Slaying a seamstress bad. Royalty, sometimes something's got to give, baby. Boy, talking about okay, end of the world. I'm not doing that. Yeah, I think, forget this. I'm not doing this. I don't think we picked this last time.
Are you serious? No, you have to do it.
That's all you have to say. I mean, to be fair, we have to do it. According to the narrator, who is infallible and in no way unreliable. There's never been such a concept. If you tell me unreliable narrator in my Slay the Princess, never. We are the only one who can do the job. Can't someone else do this? Yeah, I think... look, I'll go to the cabin and I'll talk to her, and if she's as bad as you say, then maybe I'll slay her, but I'm not committing to anything until I've had the chance to meet her face to face. I wish the lie option was here. Lie. I don't know why, but that always just cracks me up. Like I've already said, but it just makes me smile anytime, just parentheses, lie.
Then I guess we'll just have to see what happens, but a word of warning.
Oh yes, we picked this one before, because I remember, because I was like, damn, they make words with honey now?
Then each and every one. So sure, go, talk to her. See how that turns. You make your way up the short path.
We're not going to go through with this, right?
Ignore him.
Proceed into the cabin. I missed opening the door.
The interior of the cabin is the blade.
We don't need no stinking blade. I mean, it could come in handy because it could be a handy tool for freeing the princess, because like a knife is a tool. It doesn't have to just be a weapon. Oh, I bumped my mic, sorry. It doesn't have to be a weapon. We can use it for many things. But, you know, I said this was a simp run. This isn't exactly we're going to exactly free her. This is you know, we're not thinking completely about the situation in the best way. Also, we don't know. We don't have any previous knowledge. It's a new run, baby. When has the knife ever been useful?
The door to the basement creaks open. Her voice.
Hello? Is someone there?
It's hypnotizing. It's the kind of voice you only have to hear once to remember it for the rest of your life.
It is not what the hero said last time, so I guess we've begun the simping process.
Don't let it fool you. It's all part of the manipulation. You're playing a dangerous game by coming here unarmed.
Hi, just checking on you. I'm here to save you. Lie. I'm here to save you. I think I'm here to slay you. Continue down the stairs. I'm here to save you.
How many times do I have to tell you how dangerous letting her out of here would be before it finally sinks in?
Wait, really? You're here to rescue me? I was starting to think I'd be stuck down here forever. Come downstairs. I want to see the face of my rescuer.
Hit me.
You walk down the stairs and lock eyes with the princess. There's a heavy chain around her wrist, binding her to the far wall of the basement.
She's beautiful. How could someone like this be a threat to anyone?
No one beautiful has ever been a threat. It is true.
I am begging you to stay focused. There's a lot riding on you here.
Hi. I can't believe you're here. I've been waiting for something like this to happen forever. I hope you brought something to deal with these chains.
Don't do it. If she gets out of those chains, we're all one step closer to the end.
Hold on, let's talk a bit first, though. Let's just examine the chains. I'll see what I can do.
You're only making this more difficult.
Thank you. Thank you.
You're making a huge mistake.
Joke's on you, narrator. I'm always making a huge mistake.
No, you're doing the right thing. You walk up to the chains binding the princess to the wall and give them a tug. They're large and heavy, far too solid for you to even imagine trying to break them apart.
Hey, don't you have a punch like a sledgehammer? Can you just yank it off the wall for me, please?
I'm guessing you don't have the key?
Maybe it's somewhere upstairs. Doubtful. Whoever locked the princess away down here intended for her to never see the light of day. They wouldn't have just left the key to her chains somewhere in the cabin.
And if there isn't a key, do you have any other ideas? I'm gonna go check upstairs. Maybe the key is lying around up there, somewhere up there. And if not, maybe I can at least find something to break you free. I would like to hear her ideas on the situation, but I assume if she's still here, she doesn't have any ideas on the situation. But also, I mean, she never had a second body here before to help. We're eventually going to go upstairs, so let's see if she has any ideas before we just, brush that off.
Maybe there's some way to break the chains?
She looks so sad here. So sad.
Or if that doesn't work, I guess we can always cut me out of them.
She offers the suggestion with almost complete nonchalance. If we were stuck down here long enough, I'm sure we'd be nonchalant about cutting our way out if it meant we could finally be free. You attempt to make your way out of the basement, but the door at the top of the stairs slams shut. You hear the click of a lock sliding into place. Is someone else here?
Before we continue, and maybe this is a little gruesome, but I had a blood clot at the beginning of this year that nearly killed me. And throughout this year, many times I've thought, because it's a big problem with my blood clot, just like pain in my leg and stuff, and like it's not breaking up the way it should, but it's breaking up slower than it should. I'm not currently dying, but there have been many points in this year where I've just been like, I should just cut my leg off and just be done with it. Like, obviously, it's more of an intrusive thought than anything, because I would probably just die if I cut my leg off, obviously. Like, me cutting it off myself, like, there is, obviously medical amputation where I would survive. But you're stuck in chains. Like, obviously, you'd start thinking, like, I could cut my arm off. I mean, there is that pesky bone. The bone is going to be the problem, because the flesh and the fats and the muscles... they cut easy, baby. I mean, they don't cut easy, but once you hit bone, you're going to be wishing for the flesh and the fats and the muscles. Someone locked us in here. I don't think being like, hey, let us out of here is going to do anything, so we'll just try the door.
You try the door, but it's locked from the outside.
Maybe it was an accident. Hey, let me out of here.
Your shouts and pleas are met with silence. You're here to slay the princess, and you won't leave until the task is done.
Can I at least have a knife? I'm sorry. I'll go slay the princess now. Lie.
You make your way to the bottom of the stairs. This would have been so much easier if you'd just taken the blade like you were supposed to. Easier for whom? Easier for everyone. Look at the mess you're in.
I heard the door slam. They locked you down here too, didn't they?
There's a slight panic rising in the princess's voice.
If I could just get out of these chains, I know we could force our way out of here together.
She barely hesitates before raising her arm to her mouth, her teeth tearing through her limb with the determination of a trapped wolf. As she rips her flesh from her bone, a sound comes from behind you, the clang of bouncing metal. It's the blade from upstairs. You're not sure how it made its way down here, but if there's a time to strike, it's now. Or we could use it to free her. You won't like what happens if you do that.
Well, we're obviously going to free the princess. There's literally no other option.
Fine. Against your better judgment, you place the blade against the ragged, self-inflicted wound on the princess's arm, just above the unyielding chain binding her to this place. You cut into her flesh.
Her looking up at us like a child, like, as we do this, and she's clearly, well, from the shot, she does not seem to be in any pain, is very good. Just, like, obviously it's a horror game, but just a very good shot of just like, hey, you got any games on your phone? Like, while you're slicing her arm off.
The blade is sharp, and it takes little effort to crack through the bone of her arm. Her limb falls to the ground, and the heavy chains follow suit. She didn't so much as utter a sound through the whole ordeal. No, she didn't. She clutches the wound, softly smiling as her gaze meets yours. How is she still smiling after everything? It's like she isn't even bothered by what just happened.
Thank you. Now let's get out of here.
Post locked door.
No, we won't have any of that. The stakes are too high. You can't just let her escape into the world. No, I can't just let her escape into the world. As the princess approaches the bottom stair, your body steps forward and raises the blade. Wait, this isn't fair. You can't just do that. Watch me.
What are you doing?
I guess we're gonna slay the princess, 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 warn her, slay the princess, slay the princess. Maybe we're gonna warn her. I really like this effect of like, where like the like backgrounds like shift with like kind of like parallax, not parallax. It's a nice little effect, and it also just kind of makes me laugh in the situation where you can just kind of like jiggle our arm and the princess as we're like da, but we're gonna warn her obviously.
Stop that.
Oh, I thought this was all a little too easy.
Your body lunges forward, the blade held low, ready to sink into her heart. But the princess dodges. Wait, she dodges? Stop it. Stop trying to resist me. I'm trying to get you out of here alive.
Once again, we will find a hidden option and resist.
The blade. Move the blade.
I'm sorry. I can see you're doing your best to resist what's happening to you. I'll try and make this quick.
She pounces on you with the same animal ferocity she used to tear through her arm. You feel her claws on your throat, then her teeth, somehow sharp enough to pull apart your flesh and sinew with ease. You collapse to the floor, your body unresponsive as your blood pools on the ground beneath you. She stares down at your ravaged form, eyes shining in the darkness, dress stained red as your blood seeps into the fabric. When she manages to escape from this place and bring ruin to the world, know that it was all your fault. It can't just end like this, right? As much as I'd prefer for things to have gone differently, I can't deny the reality of what's happened. I'm sorry, but it's over. Everything goes dark, and you die.
Joke's on you, narrator. Lots of things are my fault. Chapter 2, The Damsel. A little different than The Fury.
You're on a path. You're here.
Terrible sense of deja vu. Oh, you bastard. You're in it for it now. I'm wise to your tricks. Yes, the narrator was able to commandeer our body. So I'm still not sure exactly if the narrator is an aspect of us or not. She's going to kill me again. Yeah, I'm wise to your tricks. I'm not sure if we should say this to the narrator, because like clearly the narrator can be like, hey, do what I want. So perhaps we shouldn't antagonize the narrator. So perhaps we should just lie. Yep. Okay. Definitely gonna go slay that princess.
You know I can tell when you're lying, right? Please take this seriously. I am begging you.
I've picked that up before, and I'll pick it again.
I have what she will lie.
Yes, don't believe a word she says. Just go in, take the knife, and do what you're supposed to. Wink.
Hello, the doubting.
Did you just say the word wink out loud?
I have to say, I do like the writing for this game so far. I am very tired of the joke of someone says a wink out loud, and then someone's like, did you just say it out loud? Like, I am perfectly okay with someone going wink and saying it out loud. Like, that part I'm good with, but when someone has to point it out, like, that's the part where I'm like, okay, I don't like that part of the joke.
No, I didn't. Wink. Just ignore this clown and focus on the princess.
I mean, I guess saying wink out loud is pretty widely done at this point, but I don't know. I do just like someone saying wink. It makes me smile.
The interior of the blade is...
Well, we don't need a blade. I mean, I suppose we do. We just learned that we probably need a
The
blade.
door to the basement creaks open, her voice carrying.
Hello? Is someone there?
You're playing a dangerous game.
It's even more hypnotizing than before.
Is it more hypnotizing than before, or is that just what we want it to be?
I like that the doubting isn't just like, oh, I doubt the narrator because of what happened. It is literally just the voice of doubt. So it's like, because I mean, It probably is. It was literally, I do believe, literally the same voice clip. So it isn't that it's more Well, I guess it could be more. I mean, just because it's like these two things aren't mutually exclusive. It could be more hypnotizing than before because it is what we want to be. Like, I mean, I understand the point. Here I am being the voice of doubting for the voice of doubting. Damn.
I think we're in love.
Uh-oh.
For everyone's sake, you're not in love. Just don't let her charm you. It's all part of the manipulation. You walk down the stairs and lock eyes with the princess.
She's still so beautiful. And she has both of her arms again. Did everything we just went through actually happen?
It must have, because she's different. Can't you tell?
Oh, I didn't notice. I did notice. There was parentheses joke before I said that.
You. I remember you. You're going to help me get out of here, right?
I like you go. I mean, like I tried my best to like simp for her, but like I like trying to help her. Like her like art style kind of reconfigures. Like obviously we saw her like more monstrous at the end of the other, I guess literally in the other ending for this demo. You know, we saw like a more monstrous version with like all the like there was like something inside of her body that was like writhing and like all the like bulbous bulbs on her body. But I like, you know, you try to help her and like her art reconfigures to kind of be like kawaii, like kind of like cutesy up a bit. The kind of like whenever you see her like normal art, it's like, oh, the eyes are a bit unnatural, but in like that art style was like, yeah, big eyes, you know, it's a bit more anime. I suppose that was the point I was trying to get to. I kind of was like, you know, you kawaii, cute. Oh, if only there was an animation medium from a certain country that kind of described what was happening there. Okay, but now we've kind of reluctantly come to the conclusion that we had to kill her. We've tried our best to help her, and it didn't seem like it went that well. So now there's only one final thing. I mean, obviously, there are 7 endings. There's tons of options here that we could go through to explore, but there's only one thing I can think of trying to do left. Sweet. I've always wanted off a monarch. Viva la revolution.
That's the spirit. You make your way at a warning. She will... We're not going to go through. Ignore him.
Proceed into the cabin.
Into the blade.
Take the blade.
You take the blade.
Into the basement.
The door. Her voice.
Who's there?
It's commanding. Don't let it...
Continue downstairs.
Good. You're still listening to reason. You walk down the stairs.
She's so...
Focus on the task at hand.
Are you here to kill me or something?
Nuh-uh. Yeah, okay, yeah, you cop me. I'm here to slay you. I haven't decided yet. I'm just here to talk. Steal your nerves and step forward.
You step forward, your grip on the blade tightening as you steel your resolve.
Oh? No talking then? Fine. What even makes you think you can kill me?
What are you gonna do? Stab me?
I'm probably chained up in this basement for a reason, right? And if that knife is the only weapon you have, you'll have to get close enough to use it.
Joke's on you. I'm an expert knife thrower.
So, you should just drop it. Best not to risk finding out what I can do.
Do you hear the conviction in her voice? Do you see the razor sharpness in her gaze? I don't think she's bluffing.
She's unarmed. If you hesitate now, it'll be too late. End this.
I don't care if she's bluffing. I guess I should read the options. What if she isn't bluffing? What if she kills us? Are you sure she's not unarmed? I'm sorry, can we just talk? I'm not dropping the blade. Drop the blade. But of course, we're here to slay the princess.
You lunge forward without a moment's hesitation. You feel flesh easily give way and look down to see your blade already sinking deep into her heart.
Oh.
That's a badass thing. You just get stabbed and go, oh. I feel like, from what I've heard, that's also a pretty realistic thing to, like, getting murdered. Like, obviously, like in movies, like, people, like, get big, like, death rattles. But if I recall correctly, oh shit, Christopher Lee. I think the actor's name was Christopher Lee. And Lord of the Rings, The Two Towers. This is probably a bad time to do this, but in Lord of the Rings, The Two Towers, Peter Jackson, like whenever, I guess spoilers for Lord of the Rings, The Two Towers, when whatever his guy is, I don't remember because I'm not a big like Lord of the Rings. Like I don't have anything against Lord of the Rings. It's been a long time since I've seen those movies. And I can't read. I did read Fellowship of the Ring, but I never read the other ones. I also read The Hobbit. I like The Hobbit. But in that one, like whenever Peter Jackson was directing it and Christopher Lee's character got like killed, like he did like, because he gets stabbed, I believe, from behind. I think that's what happens. Maybe he doesn't get, I don't know, but I think he gets stabbed. Like he goes like, oh, like just like a quick like kind of gasp. And Peter Jackson was like, no, you just got murdered. I need a bigger reaction. And Christopher Lee was like, you've never killed someone, have you? This is the way they react when they die, which is a troubling thing to know. I think he was like in the army or some shit, you know, some government sanctioned murder squad, some one of those things.
This is it, isn't it?
And that was a bad time for that discussion, wasn't it?
I'm almost embarrassed. I should have seen that coming, but I have to wonder. Do you actually believe this was enough to kill me?
There it is again. That razor-sharp look in her eyes and the terrifying conviction in her words. Yes, even as she lays there dying, she entirely believes herself to be alive and well. But it's over, isn't it? She stopped breathing moments ago, that arrogant look still plastered on her face.
I'm not sure I would call that look arrogant as much as dead.
But is it over? Really over?
Of course it is. She's dead. I'm not sure. I feel like she has some kind of trick up her sleeve. Of course not. That was too easy.
It's over. Don't get all worked up. With your work done, you make your way back up the stairs, closing the door to the basement behind you. Why do I feel like we've done something terrible?
It's called murder, bro.
You did kill someone. Greater good or not, something would be very wrong with you if you didn't feel at least a little bad. But it was for the greater good. One of these days that will sink in and help ease your guilty conscience.
I accidentally right-clicked during that. I had to hold it.
But that day isn't today. Let's just get out of here.
Let's leave.
You open the cabin door, ready to return to a world saved from certain doom. Only, a world saved from certain doom isn't what you find. Instead, what you find is nothing at all. Where a lush forest stood mere minutes ago, the only thing in front of you now is the vast emptiness of space. What happened? Everyone is fine. It's just that you and the cabin are now far away from them. Don't worry. You'll be safe here. This is good. Everyone is happy. You'll be happy.
Oh, well, if we'll be happy, then everything's okay. Man, it's bullshit. Let me out of here. Oh, okay. I was kind of hoping I'd get a better end for saving the world. I kind of just want to say, oh, okay, but yeah, you know, I can't resist. Oh, okay.
I'm so glad you're keeping an open mind. This is what's best for everyone. Trust me.
We've done nothing but trust you. As long as you ignore, maybe 20 minutes of this video.
Time passes. You can't be sure if it's days, or months, or years, or even decades. It's all a wonderful, boring blur. You've never been happier. Psst. Hey. We're not just gonna stay here forever, right?
Didn't you hear the narrator? I'm happy. We're happy. Hell no. Do you have any idea how to... Hell no. Do you have any idea how to get us the heck out of here? I guess you couldn't be like, hell no. Do you know how to get us the hell out? I mean, I guess you could say hell twice, you know. Fuck it. Who cares? Of course we are. I like it here. No, did you hear the neighbor? The narrator.
Are we really happy? Or is he just telling us that we are?
And what's the difference if we sit down and really think about it, being told we're happy and being happy? Is there truly a difference? Okay, maybe I'm not happy. And I'm not just saying that because you're the last person I talked to. No, we're happy, I'm sure of it. I like this, like, the comedic writing, like, obviously it's a horror game, but just, like, the comedic writing, for the most part, really sticks in this game. Like I said, I didn't like that wink thing, but, like that is the most negative thing I have to say about this game so far.
Good, because I have an idea to get us out of here, though you're probably not going to like it. The blade. We can use the blade to get out of this.
I can hear everything you say, little voice. There's only one thing it would want you to use that blade on, and I'm afraid that thing is you, dear hero.
He's right. It's the only way out.
Do you hear that? It wants to take this happiness away from you. It wants this wonderful place to end. Do you not? There's more for us to do, and the only way for us to do it is to take that blade and use it. Don't you dare.
Wouldn't using the blade, kill us? Wouldn't we be dead? We're probably not very bright if we're, like, asking, like, hey, wait, wouldn't... The voice is suggesting that, I die. Wouldn't dying kill me? Anything to get us out of this hell. You're right, I didn't like that idea. I'm just going to stick around and do nothing, at least for a little while longer.
What a relief. I suppose we've got all the time in the world for you to change your mind.
More happy time passes, though the word begins to lose its meaning. Time, that is, not happy. Happy still has plenty of meaning.
Please, shake yourself out of it. We have to get out of here.
The little voice's pleas fall on deaf ears. Eventually you pass into a blissful state of pure existence. Though words like eventually and pass ceased to have any meaning to you long before that shift, you simply exist. Happy. Forever.
Blissful state of pure existence is, damn, goals. Oh, good ending! We did it! You saved everyone, balloons, the princess that we slayed right in the heart. We got the good ending, we did it. No reason to play the full game. We slew the princess and got the good ending. Foolish of them to put the truly good ending in the demo of the game. Bad idea, Black Tabby Games. So I really like that, like, obviously we go in there and you try to talk to the princess and you get hesitant and can't do the job, and then you get in the cool fight, and apparently she hits like a fucking shit brick house and just knocks the ever-living shit out of you. And to kill her, you just gotta, like, get in, get out, just do the damn thing. You gotta kill her. But I really like that killing her isn't like, it didn't give us any explanations. In fact, it raised more questions because we killed her, and that wasn't the end of the demo. We got thrown into a void where we exist, I guess, in the cabin. We're only sitting in that one room. We don't know if the basement was there. We didn't see that. It seems like our player character just kind of stuck in that room for what sounded like, essentially eternity. With the ending we did just sit there for eternity. So, like, what happened there? Like, we saw the fractal cabin, so there's something, space-time wise happening here with the princess's, I guess, ability to destroy the world and what people are willing to do to stop her from doing that. It seems like there's some kind of control over space and time happening. Maybe not time per se, but at least there's some control over space happening. So there's a lot of interesting questions raised by Slay the Princess. I really like this game. I don't believe I said it. The full game, the full game is coming out in 2023. It doesn't have an exact date, but it's slated for 2023. I guess I should say, because I guess anything could happen and it might not come out, or get pushed outwards. But I really like this game. I was really surprised when the developer announced this, because they are working on Scarlet Hollow. So it was a surprise to be like, oh, they're doing something different, strange. But I mean, it makes sense to have like Scarlet Hollow. They've been working on it for a while now. I don't remember when episode 1 went up. It was probably in 2020, but it might be predate that. I'm not exactly sure. But at least episode 1 existed in 2020, and they've gotten 2 episodes out since then. So it makes sense to have like a different project to work on, to like kind of break up like this long project, because like Scarlet Hollow, like whenever I heard it had like 7 episodes, I was like, oh shit, like it's clearly going for like days of the week kind of deal, leading up to some big event happening perhaps. But it made sense to have like a kind of side project to work on, and I really like Slay the Princess. I thought it was really cool, and I'm very I hadn't seen that spooked me a little. I think this game's really interesting, and I want to find out some more answers. I want to see what's up, because like clearly something is up with the princess, but even with the actions that we took, because like all the actions I took, I feel are pretty anti-princess, believe it or not. Even when I was like helping her, I was like, oh, this is gonna be the simp run. But like obviously the narrator, and I wanted to say the people we're working for, but I'm not exactly sure that's correct. The forces that be that want the princess dead, there seems to be something up with them, something to learn, something to find out. So I'm very excited to see the full version of this game and what happens. So that was Slay the Princess by Black Tabby Games. Comes out in 2023.